Good morning, everyone. It's Dawn. It is already Thursday. Crazy. Um, the 18th at noon. And I wanted, for the benefit of our annual members as well as our monthly members, and I very well may put this on YouTube, just as an awareness as to who we are. But this is probably going to be more geared for our annual members. I had a conversation with Chris this morning, and Chris is always exploring, which is great. He's passionate about what it is we're doing, and as we've said many a time, there are many, many ways to trade and many, many things to trade, or instruments, right? Many different approaches, many different instruments, some leveraged, not leveraged. So it's entirely up to you. But I want to, in the interest of explaining some of the tools that are available to you and what you can do, I want to share with you what I was describing for Chris. And in particular, he has been working, and we have others as well that have been working particularly with this part of the tool when it comes to the SMC trade generator Pebble Beach triggers, right? So we have an SMC trade generator for Pebble Beach triggers. We also have SMC trade generator out of bounds. So just to review, I'm going to review what this is, how it works, how you might use it, and then I'm also going to, if you stay with me, share with you how you might use this in conjunction with Swing Machine and actually put it together. Okay? So I think though if I explain what it is and how it was designed and why, you'll be a bit more comfortable with it, and let me know your experiences, and if there's enough interest, we can potentially put some of these tools together in one piece so you don't have to piece it together. All right, so this is the idea. This is the trigger to give you Pebble Beach sells, right? So if I sort the date, it just gives you the triggers today. It is more of a counter trend entry than it is a counter trend. So it gives you sell signals and buy signals on a counter trending basis. So here's a little buy that's showing up in here. The purse is not leveraged on stock, so we have to base it on something. And if you come here to your tool, this is just a review for right now, you can either put in a share count or a dollar amount. And you can, on this one, yours may or may not have it. You can at least put in the dollar amount, but in this one here, I can actually change it from futures, which would calculate the purse on futures, or I can change it to stock, set that as true, and then I just put in the share count or the dollar, and in the column will be correct. If you don't have that option and you want it, let me know. And but you should have a dollar amount so that it'll calculate the purse. Okay. This signal is a highly probable candle formation, a reversal formation. That's basically what it is. It gives you, it alerts you to when it's happening real time. It gives you the entry price. It immediately starts calculating the purse based on the amount of money you're trading. It gives you a very good, valid stop level. Of course, if you're short, the stop level is above, so you can, begin to calculate your risk reward scenarios. It also gives you the date so you can sort, bring them all to the fore. And then this tool. Now, this is a great tool in and of itself, and we're going to be referring to this tool primarily. It gives you on a daily basis, this is the interval, but it would be any interval, but of course a daily interval is going to be much more significant than, a 15-minute interval. But it will tell you stocks that are in a panic sell zone. They're just dumping and dumping it. And those stocks that are in euphoria, that they're just panic buying. Everybody wants in, the shorts want out, and they're just buying it up. The trend axis is approximately a 20 period moving average is what that trend axis is. Now, why is that important? And why are these sides important? Okay, you may be thinking, I want to buy these and I want to sell these. Well, that may be, if that's what you've been doing, that may be why, you could be losing some money, because I want to be buying these and selling these, maybe not with reckless abandon. And I want to lean maybe more when the market is bullish on the buy side. You probably always want to have a little bit more bias on the buy side than the sell side. It's just the nature of the beast. But it's a little like that scene in Caddyshack. Remember the scene in Caddyshack where Rodney Dangerfield is at his golf bag? He's got a phone of all things in his golf bag, right? Imagine that. How advanced was that? And he was talking to his broker and he says, are they buying? They buying? Then sell, sell, sell. Are they selling? Then buy, buy, buy. So there's a lot of truth to that. And what is the truth? So let me show you. We're going to draw this out. Bear with me. Bear with me here. I'm going to get a little drawing tool. What we know is when you have a continuum out here, and if this is the 20 period moving average right here, we'll draw it right. Actually, we'll just leave it right there. We'll try to get it in the middle. Oops. When you move one standard deviation, tell you what, let's make this a little bit bigger. When you move one standard deviation, we'll try to, this it won't be to scale. And then you get out here to 2 standard deviations and 1 standard deviation. And this is meant to be 2 standard deviations. And if we draw this, oops, I want a free line there. Let's lose that for a moment. See if I can do this with a free line. Gonna try. You get something like this. What we know statistically is when price excuse me, is out here or here, the likelihood that price is going to move back toward the mean, the middle, basically, is 95%. In both directions, 95% likelihood over the next 20 days. This is the move at 20. Now, it's not obligated to do that. It's not going to do it 100% of the time. 5% of the time, the sucker's going to keep moving away from the mean, going to the moon. But 95% of the time, it isn't. This is euphoria. This is panic. So if I can know on a daily basis when I'm out here or on any basis, I might improve my likelihood, my probabilities of buying here and selling here. Now I might want to have a stop, loaded out here so that I don't get carried out to sea in some sort of rip current. So that is the probability map that goes into this tool that we're looking at. And let's go back to it. I'm going to clear all this. So that's where this little tool and how this little tool is designed. So but it also has this little trigger mechanism. But there's a lot of different ways to trade this tool. Yes, you can be paying attention to these, and they're in the money in all of these today, in the money. It's a great way. You can just sit back and wait, and hopefully, if they don't gap down, you have an opportunity to get into them. But you can also sort. What if I wanted to do this? So out of the whole S&P 500, here all of these stocks are in euphoria. Now, on CNBC and everyone, this is everything they want to buy, right? They want to buy Home Depot. But the likelihood is, over the next 20 days, that Home Depot is likely to move back toward the trend axis. It's at 405. It's likely to pull back. It would be healthy if it did to pull back to about 373. Not obligated to do so. See, these here have already started. They were already up in here, and they've started moving back. Look at this one here. This evergreen that was in here just a short time ago and has pulled back in. So that is how you can sort real time and do this at night and get all the stocks that are in euphoria. What if you do this? Well, holy smokes, right? This is, we're getting a little bit of a sell down. All these stocks are being panic sold. Now, it may not mean necessarily just, willy-nilly, just rush out and, I'm going to go buy one, just to buy one. But at least you'll be in the right area for the bounce, for the trade. But what we're suggesting you might want to think about is what if we build out a swing machine, and by the way, while we're here, the oboe is exactly the same thing as Pebble, has this exact same tool to it, exact same, well, it has entry price. The columns are all the same, but the trigger is different. The trigger is what we call oboe, and it does not take into account any of the candle formations. And what it is doing, though, what triggers the oboe is the item on the interval that's here must be in panic or in euphoria, and when it starts to move back in, coming back without any regard to candles, the price is just starting to come back, it will trigger. Okay, so sometimes they get into euphoria and they stay there, like Home Depot. What do we want to know? We want to know when that sucker starts coming back in, and that's what oboe trigger will do on a daily basis. So that could be interesting, maybe when we use swing machine. How so? All right, so let's do this. I'm going to combine the two, and for simplicity's sake, I'm going to just copy a window, and it's going to happen to have my futures on here. Okay, so here is the intraday swing machine. Okay, and swing machine, though, doesn't take into account euphoria and panic. It only takes into account the trend. But maybe you want it to look, maybe you want to see that at the same time. Now, yes, you could have it on a separate chart and try to interpret it, but what if we put it on the same chart? What might that look like? All right, so let's do a couple of things here. Let's first add the Pebble Beach. Let's do that. And when we add anything on, here is the on the radar, you got to be kind of patient. So let's see here. We want SMC. Bear with me. SMC Pebble Beach. SMC Trade Generator Pebble Beach. Anybody doesn't have this, or you're confused in any way, let me know. So I can see this. Okay, this one here, this is my copy. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to hit OK. And now, I can't see all this on one screen. I probably need a bigger screen. But let me show you. So it'd be like, okay, I get it. Do I really want to have all that? But what if we do this in the interest of saving some space? what if we hide some columns? So maybe I hide, I'm just going to, just to dramatize this, we'll leave this up for you. I'm going to hide the bulk of these columns. I'm going to hide the long yardage. I got to do this every time, which is a little annoying. I got to come back. I'd like to just hold my cursor down, but I don't think it'll let me do that. Let me try. See if I can hold it down. Now the purse I want, the entry price I want, entry time. I don't know. I'd say I'll leave it. Yeah, see, I can't even. I was trying to hold my cursor down. I couldn't do it. So I got to do this every time. So the entry date, GPS near, I want. The distant, I'll hold. The altimeter, I want. The trade count, I don't need. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to lose the trade count for right now. And, okay. So now, what about the Pebble Beach itself? Maybe, maybe I, that's fine to look at this on a daily basis, but maybe I want to hide this for right now. Let me show you what this might look like to you. So, and maybe you want to set yours up different. That's totally okay, right? So I'm actually gonna. What this is gonna leave me with is that euphoric and panic. I got to do this every time. Sorry. And what I'm going to bring into view, I think it's going to be very, very cool. And again, if there's tremendous interest and success with this, and you want it, we'll consolidate it into one. But for right now, we just want to show you how you might do it. All right. So now, even on an intraday basis, I look and I say, okay, the 1 minute is in a long trend. Well, where is that 1 minute? Holy crap. It's up in euphoria. Maybe I don't want to do that, right? Maybe I don't. And let's crunch this down. And where's the 5 minute? Up in here. That could be kind of interesting. Look at the NQ. NQ on the 1 minute is in euphoria. Maybe, and these guys still have room to go. Look at the oil. I don't have the right contract on oil. But this can tell you where you are in the field. And the same thing is going to hold true. Now, the 3 minute and the 5 minute could still run up here. But that 1 minute is long in the tooth. And even, you can see where the VIX is on a 5 minute. I mean, there's no fear at all in here. So this might be a place where, even on this alone, I might want to be selling the ES. So let's just do it for giggles, okay? Let's just do that. Oops. All right. Those are option contracts. And so let's just change this to just futures. We can discuss that later in the week, and we are. And let's get, so I can put an order in here. And I'm going to, so this is the idea, right? Oops. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'm going to get a little trade bar. And on this basis alone, now I want, okay, so on this basis, here is the ES. I know it's trending up. I could go over and look at the pebble, right? I can see it's all along. So if I got a little itch to be a counter trender occasionally, all right, I'm like, wow, look at that's solid. It is solid. But look where they are. They're up in here, Don. That's what I'm thinking, right? So you know what? I'm going to go ahead on this basis alone. I can maybe even do it with the NQ. It would be, well, you can see this one's even pushing up in there. You know what? Let's live dangerously. It is dangerous, though. It is dangerous because if they can get even more extreme, and you would have to have, an idea in mind of how much pain you're going to take. But at least I have a little more, I have more information to know that I don't want to chase it up here, and I actually might want to even take it the other way. So this is where, we're using one tool to help the other tool, the Pebble Beach. I'm sorry, the swing machine. So the idea being is if I can get a um, a new trend, if I can get in, you know, on the opposite side, we're up in euphoria, and then I can capture the trend, and so you get the idea. Okay. Please go slow. Please be careful. These are counter trends, and on an intraday basis, there'll be a lot of them. And so this would call for practice. But while that's running up there, we'll just let that run. What if you wanted to do this for stock? How might you do this? Well, there's a couple of things that you could do. The night before the market, go to the oboe or go to this tool on a daily basis. This part of the tool, right? And on a daily basis, and find the stocks that are in panic sell. Find the stocks that are in panic buy. And then come in. And so let's go do that. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to all these stocks are in panic sell, right? So I'm going to just copy these. I'm going to copy them, copy, and we're going to come back. So that's on a daily basis. And let me delete these for now, right? We're not going to. This is more for trading shares of stock without, maybe without leverage or maybe with options a little bit. And I'm going to, so I can do this the night before. And I can say, all those stocks are in panic sell. Those could be potential buys. And I'm going to paste them in here. And the interval happens to be at 240. Okay. And that'd be all right. But you could also change the interval if you wanted to. If you really want to eat with a fork and a knife, we could change all symbols and minute. I could even drop it down to a 15-minute. I don't think I'd go much lower than that. And I would maybe save this workspace and say, these are my potential intraday buys of stock, right? And then you just wait and then just sort them. And on a 15-minute basis, Swing Machine is generating a buy on something called ANET. Now, I'm not going to get too anal about where it is on a 15-minute generator on a stock. I know the daily is much more significant, and I know the daily is in a panic sell. So I'm not going to, get all hung up on my shorts on that, right? But that would be the idea. Or maybe you want to use an hourly. They'll be more significant. If you use a 15-minute, you might be able to get in and get out in a day. If you use an hour, it's probably going to be a few days at minimum, right? Is the idea. You could have also taken all the stocks that were in euphoria and created another workspace and plugged them into your radar or into Swing Machine and call those your potential fades and put them on a shorter time frame and sit back and wait for them to populate. Sound okay? Okie doke. Just an idea. You might want to set it up differently. That's fine. I'm just showing you how you can put two of our tools together, two different concepts. Swing Machine is certainly going after the trend. The Pebble Beach has got a certain trigger. Maybe you want to leave the trigger in there, but it certainly gives you where you are in the field. Okay, where you are in the field is going to be most significant, on the larger time frame. So if you look at it at night, and that is exactly what we do when we're looking at options, Susan wants to see those stocks in euphoria before we get the puts on them. Susan wants to see those stocks in panic sell before we even think about getting calls on them. And then she wants to see the 1 hour, her time frame is 1 hour swing machine. She wants to see those stocks trigger on the 1 hour. Then she gives me the green light, or she, executes her own trades to go in. That's her approach. And so that's 30 minutes. I just wanted to share that with you. If you've got any questions, by the way, this thing's still working. So let's go take a peek at it, right? Let's get our intraday. Now, please, this is very active. Could you do this on an intraday basis? Yes, it could be done. It would have to be practiced, right? Everything, intraday, everything speeds up, especially with leverage. So, please, let's see here. I meant to paste something in here. Oh, let's try it again here. I'm going to copy, and then we'll close out. Copy. We're going to try this again. Paste. There we go. So we sold. I'm sorry, that's 15-minute. All right. So let's just do this for the NQ, right? So we can't and 3 and 5. So do you remember? It was just a few minutes ago. Do you remember the 1 minute was way over here? It was in euphoria. Now the 1 minute is down here. What do you want to do? At that point, I mean, what is it doing? What is it doing here? It's dipping. So maybe we should be aggressive and just make our $270. So remember, when you were in Q school, we spent a lot of time, quite a bit of time, talking about trend follow long, trend follow short, counter trend short, counter trend long, and being able to recognize them, understanding the probabilities of them, understanding the payouts, the frequency, right? This is a way of enhancing the swing machine to maybe suit some counter trend trading. And you got a day that is, just, either the trend has been established and you missed the trend, and yet you still want to take some shots. This might be helpful to you. Keep me posted. Good luck, everybody. For anyone else that's seeing this, I'm Bag It On, Stock Market Caddy. We are about mechanical robotic trading, trying to take the emotion out, developing tools to help you hone your game, play your game. There's a lot of things in these markets that we cannot control. We can't control where they go. But there's a lot of things that we can control. We can control what we trade. We can control how much leverage we use. We can control whether we use options or futures. There are advantages to both. There are. I'm a little partial to futures. You can choose to be a trend follow trader. You can choose to be a counter trend trader. And you can, mix that up during the course of a week. I certainly do. You want to control the things that you can control, and you want to, exercise real good discipline, especially on counter trending, to have some stop levels so you don't get carried out to sea. And you want to have really good tools if you're a trend follow that will keep you in the trade, keep you patient. But you want to understand before you put the trade on, what type of trade you are putting on, and what are the potential payout, and what are my risks, so you can calculate a risk factor in the ever, constant game of trying to capture a profit factor of something greater than 3, ideally. Feel free to give me a shout, 813-758-8263. Annual members, Monthly members, you want to chat about this, something you saw that you don't have, something that you need some help setting it up, please don't hesitate to reach out. Good luck. Go slow. Go slow with anything new. Go slow. Practice. Okay. It's like that new golf wedge. Okay. You got a new shiny golf wedge. Got to practice with it. Good luck, everybody.